This is Jacob Beckett. We're here with Slick, doing a video on saddling. We just got finished brushing Slick down, so we're going to throw our saddle up. And when we throw our saddle up, we want it to be a smooth motion and not slamming it down on the horse. We want to throw it up in one motion, but not just drop it right on his back. So it'll go something like this. And that way, you're not souring your horse to getting a saddle put on, but you're also not going to hit him with your stirrups and stuff. One thing to note here, my saddle pad is a little bit too far ahead, so we'll shake that up. And when I'm saddling my horse, I always want to start a little bit high, just like this, and then drag it back to where it needs to be. When I'm saddling, I want to reach under and feel the back of his shoulder blade, where the indent is for his withers. And I want my saddle to line up so my tree is in line with that. And this little bit that sticks out here, just overlapping that. And a good rule of thumb is to always have more pad in the front than you have in the back. That way, if your horse stops hard or drops down, this pad will kind of keep your saddle from sliding ahead on you. Next, we'll come over to this side here. And we'll make sure our breast collar, I'll set it on his neck so I can reach over. It's not hanging down, so I have to reach under him. And this saddle here doesn't have a keeper. We've got our back saddle strings, so I always tie it in a slip knot. So it's just as easy as that to undo my cinches. Make sure nothing's in the way, obstructing, like this rope holder here. And then I'll reach and kind of just get a feel for where my cinch needs to be. Right now, it's a little bit offset this way from the center of his belly, which is what we want for when we're tightening it. And we do the same thing with our back cinch, but kind of line it up almost center, because we're not going to tighten our back cinch as much as our front cinch. Next thing, we'll come over to this side here, and I'll take my stirrup, slap it up there so it's nice and not going to fall and bonk me on the head. Next thing I'll do is I'll run my hand down his belly, and I like to do it this way because if I'm back this way, I'm not going to get kicked as likely, but you can't reach his belly. Tell him where you are. So if you come from this way, you can reach and touch him all the way, so he knows you're coming and you're not going to spook him or startle him. And I like to put my cinch away just like this, so that this way here is nice for transporting, because that's never going to come undone on you. So it takes a little bit longer to undo it. And I always have my cinch done in a way that when I pull, it just comes all apart like that. I'll show how to do that here. Pull my cinch back out. Just take and double it up. Reach it back through. Just like that. And you can go one time around, do your Texas T, or if you're going to be moving a saddle a ways, or it's going to be sitting for a while and getting moved around, you can go double over and cross it. It's not going to come undone on you. But this way here, am I allowed to go good for colts? Because it's good for colts because it stays up off the ground. It's not something to trip on, and I can run it straight through in one motion. Now when doing my cinch up the first time, I don't want to get it very tight at all. Especially this saddle. I know this saddle is not going to go underneath him, so I'm going to get it just so it's touching his belly, really. Not tight at all. Maybe I'll do this here. And that's all I'm going to do. Super loose. And then I'm going to move straight to my back cinch. Reach under. And the same thing with the back cinch. I have this extra hole here, because he's got a big belly at some times of the year, just so it's not even touching him right now. Then I'll come and bring my breast collar. Which feels a little bit twisted. There we go. And that's why I bring it up on his neck, just so I can simply just reach over just like that, and I don't have to go in front of him and be reaching and laying on the ground. So next I'll take my breast collar and run it through here. And in my opinion, it's always ideal, if you can, to do a full double back round, but this breast collar isn't my normal one, and it's not quite long enough to do that. So I'll just come and double it up this way here, so it's wrapped around there. That also leaves it nice and solid so it's not slipping around. And I want my breast collar so it's not choking them out, it can move around, but I also don't want it falling down, which this right here is an example. It's a little bit too loose where it wants to fall down his shoulder. So we'll bring it up just even one extra notch, and that's enough where it stays up here. Next I'll reach through and clip my bottom of my breast collar to there. And I don't prefer these clips for breast collars, because it can rub and leave a sore on your horse and you can catch things on here. But once again, this isn't my normal breast collar, so we'll use it for the video. Next I might come, if I'm going to be riding him right away, I might come and you can see how much looser that was compared to when I did it. He's already let him loose and letting some air out, so we'll just get it a little bit tighter, just snug. And if we need to, we'll come back and do an extra loop. But let's just say we're going to be hauling him today, then I want it just a little bit looser, just enough to hold my saddle where I need it, and not tight on him, because then he'll learn to get cinchy. So we'll even just like that there. My saddle's on there tight, and he's not going to be rode for a while. So then we'll just take this up, and this is good enough. If I was going to ride him, I would cinch it up tighter and walk him in a circle and untrack him, and then do it one more time until I have it where I want it. Putting my latigo away, I like to bring it through my keeper like that, and then just as an extra assurance so it doesn't fall through, I like to run my strings through it, just like that. Now, once again, if I was going to be using him for work, if I'm dragging calves or roping or any of that sort, or going through any rough terrain, I'd be tightening my cinch up until it's snug on his belly. Because if I have it hanging low and not tight, it's going to catch on a branch and spook him or break something or get one of us in a wreck. But if he's just going to be sitting here for now in a safe area, then we're going to leave it loose like this. When I do come to cinch up my back cinch, I'll just have an example here. Just snug here. Just so it's touching him everywhere, but it's not pulling on him. Well, this is even a little bit. I think the other side's tightened up, so I'd need to fix that if I was riding him. But we'll go to the other side here and show. It's a normal thing for people to put their tail in here, however much slack they have. But in my opinion, I'm always wearing spurs, and the last thing I want is to hook a spur in here and be underneath and dragging. So I always leave mine out like this, because that's not going to hurt anything hanging like that. I've got lots of stuff dangling from my saddle. And now, because he's going to be sitting, I'm going to loosen my back cinch up, so it's not causing him to become cinchy. The next step we're going to do with Slick is putting his bridle on. Now, if I was out somewhere away from home, out in a pasture, or say at the feedlot or at a rodeo or something, I'd be going straight away and tying my halter just like this. Not tight on him, but just enough that it's gonna keep him where I need to be. If he sat back or something on me, this would be an issue, but he's not gonna do that right now. If I'm just at home and I'm with a horse I know is not going anywhere, this horse ground ties, you could leave him for 20 minutes out in the field and he's not gonna go anywhere. So if that's the case, then I'm just gonna take my halter, and I'll often, if it's on a low rail like this, I'll often just tie it up real quick, just so it's not going to get caught in a horse's foot or something. So now my bridle, I like to keep my reins exactly the way they're going to be when I'm riding. So when I put it on my horse, they're going to sit just like this, and that way I can just slide it all over his head in one easy go. So I'm going to start. Just put my right hand up here over his head and use it to hold my bridle, and use my left hand to guide it in. And make sure my chin strap goes underneath, and you want this to be very quick, because this is the most uncomfortable part for a horse, and if it takes you a long time, he's going to be sour to bridling. So you want to just make it one quick, just like that, and get it over with, because no matter what way you do it, it's going to be uncomfortable for him, so you want it to be quick and get it out of the way. Now, put my reins where I'm going to want them for getting on him, and make sure I get everything buttoned up. And then I'll often, if I'm not in a rush, I'm going to fix his hair up too and make sure it's all going straight and not getting kinked up on him. And then if I'm going to be riding him, I'll take him with one rein, and I'll cinch up my saddle a little ways, and I'll cinch up my back cinch. And I'll take and untrack him. And I'll just walk him in a circle. See, it's a little bit stiff for the first couple steps, so if I just jump right on him, that's going to be uncomfortable for him. And if it was a younger horse, he might decide to blow up on you. Now, if I'm just riding him lightly, this will be good enough for what I'm doing. Get this undone. If I'm just riding him lightly, this will be good enough for what I'm doing. If I was going to work him, then I'd be doing the same thing once more or twice more, whatever I need for tightness. And then if I'm ready to go, I've untracked him, he's loosened up. I'll grab my reins and set him how I want him. Come back here, turn my stirrup in. Guess I'm not wearing cowboy boots. Give him a little warning. And one fluid motion right up. Now if this was a younger horse like a colt or something, I'm gonna flex him in. This horse is stiff. He's not gonna do that well for me, but I'll flex him in, and then I'll turn my flex with a spur. I'll turn it into a walk, crossing his hind quarters over, and then I'll follow through.